Henry,
How about now?
that sounds wonderful. Everyone says the broken wheel. I want you to take me there.
Have you ever been?
Me and my father used to stop at the tavern in the glade when he was taking the flour into town. What do you think, Hal?
And just where might that?
Just above the upper gate, a little before you reach Ratai.
Well, I don't see why not. But you'll have to try some ale while you're there.
I will, I promise.
Let's be going then.
Go to taverns a lot, do you?
Sometimes. If I want a proper meal, I have to. You wouldn't want to eat the stuff I cook.
That's true. I haven't forgotten that bet you made back in Skalitz that time.
Don't talk about those oatcakes. Fritz's belly heaves at the very mention, even now.
And that's where you go to woo wenches, is it?
Naturally. Taverns and bars are where the best ones gather.
You lout.
You need to take it the wrong way.
I'm not taking it anyway at all.
It's all right. I'm only joking. I don't go picking up women in taverns. I prefer a different sort.
What sort might that? You're such a...
Come on then. So, here we are. Shall we order something?
Yes, definitely.
Service?
Ah, a pair of lovebirds. What would you like to order?
Is it all right?
It's excellent.
This ale, there's no better in the province.
You know what?
What? What are you doing? Oh, no.
Oh.
But really?
Yes. Oh, come on, be brave.
No, I've never...
Hand on my hip.
I don't even know how.
And off we go.
But really, I don't know how.
You're doing just fine.
All right. Oh, it's
All right.
it's fine. Not so bad. You wore me out.
And you said you couldn't dance.
How about a dance with a real man?
How about you leave me alone and bother someone else?
Oh, come on. It's a crime to waste a body like that on a scrawny boy like him. You got tits like a cow in calf. That's it. I like a woman to fight before I fuck her. You'll pay for that, boy. Ow!
My hero. Does it hurt?
You should worry about the other fella. I'm fine. Ow!
Of course you are. That's why you wince every time I touch you. You saw him off, though. He wasn't feeling so playful after you'd finished with him.
That tickles. Baby.
So, you'll probably be fine. But try to give your hands some rest. Don't go lifting anything too heavy.
Thank you. Can I take you home?
You never give up. Are you sure you don't need a bit more rest? I can find my own way home.
I'll manage those few extra steps.
Come on then, hero.
I'll give you this. Nights out with you might be painful, but they're never boring.
I do my best.
You should go in before Peshek starts fretting. Oh.
Blood will be spilt.
I'm gonna enjoy this. Come on. Is that all you've got? What about
My humble greetings. How may I serve you? God be with you.
Let's talk about the prop. Since it's you,
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal. See now.
God grant you health.
can I sleep here?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but
Here you go.
you've got it all to your...
God be with you. Goodbye.
Let's talk. Agree?
A nice son.
Are we agreed?
Are you Yankee? Aye. For that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God be with you.
Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Scarlet's lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
Sir Radzig is my liege, and I serve him faithfully. But that doesn't make me a lackey.
As you wish. What matters to me is that you're no layabout looking for easy work. I have a job here I can't give to just anyone.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I'll try to find out something about them. Any advice about where to start?
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad.
Can you help me with training my dog?
Certainly.
Well, I'll think it over.
Take care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you.
What do you want from me?
There's an old grandad sitting in the alehouse there. Yesterday he made use of my services and he said he'd pay me in the morning. Only now he pretends he doesn't know me. I want you to take...
I'm on it. I'll be back with the coin before you know it.
Take care.
God be with you.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing...
Don't ask me. Talk to the blacksmith.
I see.
God be with you.
Here's your share.
My share of what? What the hell are you on about?
Well, that thing with Thomas, somehow his ring ended up with us.
Thomas? Who's he?
That bastard of a foreman at the mill in Edgecombe, where you got us the job.
Are you out of your tiny mind? If anyone finds out you...
Take it easy. It wasn't theft exactly. We all know he stole that ring himself. So if it comes out, he'll be in the shit too.
Where'd you find someone willing to buy and not ask too many...
It wasn't easy. Then Fritz thought of Andrew.
Andrew?
The innkeeper here. They say all sorts of things about him.
And how did it go with him?
Well, first he didn't seem too keen. But when he saw the ring, he bought it off us. Actually, I'm not surprised. After all, we'll spend all the money on booze here anyway.
What now? What will you do next?
Well, now that you mention it...
Out with it then. What have you thought up now?
I can't help myself. It's force of habit. We tried to be good at Sasau.
And it didn't work?
Exactly. We broke our backs working in the mill.
And they drove you out?
And they drove us out. The only worthwhile thing we did recently was give that wastrel a thrashing, take his ring, and sell it to Andrew.
I'm not sure I...
And where's that? No one in the country gives a... And if we knock some thief over the head in the woods, or ambush some wagon with supplies for Sigismund's soldiers, I won't lose any sleep over it.
Those swine deserve even worse. But that's what Sir Hanush is here for, isn't he? What can we do?
Wake up, for Christ's sake! It's war! They skewered your parents, didn't they? They fucking burned down our fucking village, didn't they? Don't you give a damn about that?
Of course I fucking do.
And now, there's a herd of swine ransacking Skalitz. Those fuckers are trampling over the ashes of Jeremiah.
It's not right.
I can't let it go, Hal. Even if I have to do it on my own, I'll put the fear of God into those bastards.
We'll strike fear into the fuckers.
I knew we could rely on you, Hal. I knew it.
So?
Well, I thought Andrew the innkeeper here could help us, but he's nervous. Best ask Fritz. He sorted out selling the ring, and...
All right. I was wondering, did we all...
No, you got less.
I don't like that. How come I...
Because we had to fucking sell it. And don't forget, we didn't have...
I want more money for that.
And why is that?
Because...
God be with you.
How's trade? Any trouble around these parts?
Around here? The ones who've got it worst are them at the Neuhof stud farm. Getting things up and running again without old Smill.
If I wanted to rob...
I'm not interested. Good luck.
Listen, innkeeper, I hear you have some game here from time to time.
Aye, we have dice games happening most nights.
You make a stuffed bird laugh. You know...
No, I know.
Oh, come now, let's not lie to each other. I know very well you sell poached game here.
Oh, you do? Do you? And how's that?
I've seen a bit of the world. I know how things go.
Even so, I don't rightly understand what you're on about.
I've heard there are poachers in the area, and I'd like to join them.
Ah, you should have said right away you're in the trade. But before I tell you anything, I'll have to put you to the test. You know, I can't say...
Fair enough.
At the stud farm near here, there's a stable hand by the name of Jakub. Bastard got...
And what's that got to do with me?
If you'd stop interrupting, you might find out. Anyway, he's so full of himself, he doesn't want to give it back. Not even for money. But he's very fond of archery. And
I'm with you. If I can win your tanker back and bring it to you...
That you're not completely useless. That's right. So, get going. Take care now.
Here, just as you ordered.
God save you, Henry. Hey, how'd you get...
Why do we need Andrew at all? Without...
In case you haven't noticed, everybody and his brother goes through this inn. Andrew knows everything that goes on.
I hear you've got a plan to fleece the local villains.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Otherwise we soon won't have a pot.
And the innkeeper here could lend a helping...
Exactly.
So what's the problem?
He reckons we're not up to it. You should... Oh, and tell him I sent you, so he doesn't send you packing.
Do you know how I might set...
Mention money.
That's all?
Aye. Our friend the inn. Take care.
Fritz sent me.
Ah, you'd like some wine from my cellar?
That's right. Show me the way.
God be with you.
Pour me an ale.
So,
Aye.
look, lad, I'm fond of Fritz. I knew his old man, but Matthew, he's insane.
Only those that deserve.
And you think his lordship won't mind? Have you any...
Why don't you believe us? Do I look like a man who let himself get caught?
You've got balls, all right. We'll see if you're up to it. You'll need a disguise.
What disguise?
Use your head. You can never be sure no one will see you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to put on some other clothes, or...
Dress up as humans.
What?
It's obvious, isn't it? Everyone knows they're looting. If someone's robbed by humans, no one will investigate.
That's true. But I'll have to get some human clothes.
A captain's. And 3 sets of them.
What?
On account of the helmets. No one will recognize you with them on.
And where the hell am I supposed to get it?
There's gangs of humans around Skellets. I've got a good idea where to find them.
I'm supposed to attack a human camp?
A minute ago, you were full of yourself. And now?
But the whole fucking camp.
Scouts are deserters. Most likely the ones who are trying to skive off or take easy pickings. And even humans have to sleep.
God save you, good knight. Take care.
Greetings, good night.
Good luck then.
Come here.
You
Take that!
next!
You're... What are you doing here?
Is that all you've got?
Yeah.
Cože je to za...
Hey! Are you deaf? I'm at your service.
I'd like to find out about...
What in the...
I don't know anything about that, but if it's gossip you're after, go and speak to... Good luck then. Look out! Mother of God!
Enough of fairy travellers being attacked on the road, but they have the gall to attack a whole village.
Is that so? Lord above, I haven't heard about that.
Would you credit it?
God save.
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been...
Tell me something about Hannikin.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one... He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman and
How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted.
What do you mean? What happened?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bear. They found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key?
Oh, well, it's quite a while. And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke...
That doesn't sound very...
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow.
I see. Any idea why he...
No one knows, and most likely never will.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it.
That's probably... There is one... Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin hair? He seems to exist...
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow.
Goings on?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. Or...
Very well. Who does Hare want revenge?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the hare...
So Nicholas came out of it well.
That one always...
Thanks.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah! Are you blind, for Christ's sake? There's people walking here.
Yeah.
Good God. What happened to your clothes?
I've got a few questions about this.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle, along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought...
Did you recognise anyone there? Someone from the village?
No. Like I said, it was dark.
Did you hear any familiar voice?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold.
That's all I need.
God be with you.
Counting out the coin there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God save.
Have you got any work?
Not much. Unless you're not averse to them.
How do you mean?
As you can see, I tan hides. I can only buy them from the master huntsman, and he never gives me enough. I'd hunt them down myself, only he keeps it for you now.
Well, I don't think the master huntsman would be any happier about me hunting on his preserve.
He wouldn't, if he caught you at it. Look here, I'll pay a good price for whatever you bring me. And sometimes I have to fill in which case, I would pay you extra. And if you help me out a few times, I might be able...
I heard you have poacher trouble.
Certainly do. They're running wild around here. And they kill a lot more than they take. Many...
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by...
Don't tell me you've...
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently. Saying he'd go and bag himself some game and...
I see. Thanks.
Goodbye.
I'm at your service, sir.
I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good. See you later.
Jesus!
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang.
Well, ask away.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but...
I will, don't you worry.
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting...
Maybe not. Blacksmith Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison.
Nothing.
And I don't suppose you'll tell me who what?
No, because I...
That'll do me.
May the Lord watch over you. What was that?
What have we here?
Hey!
What in the...
I'm here to find out about...
Well, ask away.
That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble...
I don't have time to talk to... Take care now.
God save.
I'd like to find out about the...
What about them?
Well, I wondered if you've got any idea...
Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in the tavern. That's all I know. Good luck, then.
Ale for me.
I'll have a beer.
God preserve you.
I heard you've got a poaching...
In the woods and out of them. Not long back, the bastards. Certainly is. Word around the village is that someone wants to shame him till he squirms.
Cutting a deer's head on the huntsman's house sounds pretty risky.
Maybe they want to show that Hunt's...
Do you think it was someone...
I really don't know. All sorts of things get said. Hannikin Hare's back if you listen to some.
And what about you?
It could be anyone. There's more than one that has it in for Nick.
What's so suspicious about...
Just that he was drunk and blabber.
Tell me...
He used to...
What happened between Hare and...
Those two didn't get on from the start. But it all came to a head about 50...
So Hannah's just father...
Just so.
What was going on with...
Her father promised her to Hannikin.
So how...
Nicholas always had... That evening...
That'll be all.
Goodbye.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to ask you about Hannah.
I'm sorry, but
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about...
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you...
Very well. You're right.
How were things between...
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood, but I couldn't stand him. And
So you didn't want him? I only asked because I've heard...
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt...
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know?
That remains to be seen. That'll be everything. I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing...
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Elena if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all... I'm sorry.
That'll do me.
God bless.
Yeah.
God be...
Good afternoon.
I'd like to find...
If you ask me, there's some questions best.
I'd like to...
And what is it?
Get myself fixed up a bit.
But of course.
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. God be with you. What's going on?
Who are you? Not
God save.
How are the Talmberg folk getting on? Is it peaceful here?
Do you even have to ask? You're that lad from Scallis, ain't you? It is you, ain't it? Well, you ought to ask folk in Rovna how they're doing. Some of them come here for an ale now and again.
I've heard Tom of the Baths was mouthing off.
So he did. He and Jack Piper were bragging about how they'd make...
And a few days later, they did come and buy a few...
Did they have anything else to say?
Not really. I told him to shut up, or someone would hear him and there'd be trouble.
And what did he say to that?
Nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just hiccuped and slid under the table. Piper took him off after...
Do you suppose he meant it?
Hardly. He's nothing but a braggart.
All right. I'd best ask him myself.
Well, feel free to ask, but don't believe half.
And who is this Jake Piper?
Oh, he's Tom's best mate. A decent fellow. They call him the Piper because everywhere he goes, he's whistling on that pipe of his.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely in the quarry. He lends a hand there to make...
Do you think Nicholas isn't doing enough? Right. Folk are talking about...
Oh, good Lord. People do like to prattle on. Don't you go believing...
Thank you, innkeeper. I'll be going.
Good luck, then.
Yeah!
Go! Learn how to ride a horse, idiot!
I must reward you for saving my livelihood. If folk believe the stories, well, I dread to think how it could have ended up.
But the bad stone wasn't even from your quarry.
Still, sometimes words can hurt a man more than a blow. See you later.
God save you, good knight.
I need to ask you something about the poachers.
What? Me? Why me, for Christ's sake?
Some folk had themselves a feast in the woods recently, and the people who passed by told...
I was. I don't deny it. But nothing disreputable went on there.
If you're innocent, lying won't help you.
I don't know what you want from me. Nothing wrong went on in that.
But you do know something about it, and you're keeping it from me. Covering up for a friend, is that it? Very well. Loyalty is a fine thing, but once they discover who did it, then it'll be too late. You'll be right in over your head, with him.
But I haven't done anything.
Then you have nothing to fear if you tell me what happened.
All right. Yes. There was venison being eaten, but I didn't bring it. Thomas brought that there.
So all that bragging when he was drunk was more than just hot air?
I don't know where the deer came from. After what happened in the tavern, Tom took me to the forest to this hide there. But I was too worried someone would catch us, and I took off.
You did yourself a favour. Thomas isn't going to get away with this. I need to ask you something about the poacher.
What?
They say you were mouthing off.
We'd all had a few ales. You know.
So you didn't go poaching with...
My God, no. That would never even cross our minds. Thomas is a bit wild, but I have some sense, at least.
So about that feast you had...
What about it?
So how do you explain that I found bones buried there?
What? What kind of bones?
Deer bones.
As I was saying, there was meat...
And where might you have got a deer from?
Well, someone...
Who did?
I don't know.
I'm asking you for the last time.
Thomas. It was Tom.
So all that bragging when he was drunk was more...
I don't know where the deer...
No.
Good luck, then.
Yeah. I'm here to find out.
Well, ask away.
Jake swore to me that you dragged a stag to the feast. So out with it.
I'm telling you, I wasn't there.
Look, I can see you're not a poacher. You look like you couldn't hit a barn door.
That's what you think.
Are you trying to tell me you're a marksman? Are you an idiot or just too vain to think straight?
I don't see what you're getting at.
Look, I can tell you're not the poacher, but this constant lying isn't helping your case. In the end, if they don't find anyone, they'll come after you. They'll know it's not really you, but so what? There'll be no one better to blame, and someone has to swing for it.
All right. But promise me you won't drag me into anything.
Speak up, and who knows? I might put in a word for you.
All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning it.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
Farewell.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
A fellow from Talmberg claims he saw you poaching. What do you have to say about that? Can you hear me? Don't you have anything to say to me about that?
I'm not a poacher.
That's not what I've heard.
But I'm not a poacher, though.
Did your friends tell you the penalty for poaching?
No.
No? Of course not. Because if you knew, you'd never have been foolish enough to get involved.
I'm no poacher.
No, of course not. You're the Pope in disguise.
What?
Oh, never mind. But just so you know, the local custom is to string poachers up.
I don't want to hang.
No? Then you better make sure they won't hang you.
How?
For a start, by telling me where I can find your merry band of poachers. Because maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I don't think you're the leader.
No, I'm not.
So, out with it.
They only take me along from time to time.
All right. But you know where I can find them, don't you?
Aye.
And where is that?
The clearing.
They meet in a clearing?
They camp there.
And where is the clearing?
A short walk from here.
Oh, Lord. A short walk where? Do you know how many clearings there are in these woods?
No. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Where is the clearing they camp in? How do I get there?
Along the trail, from the huntsman's lodge. Go into the wood by the big broken tree, eastward.
Very well. I hope I can find it.
God be with you.
Beszarás, és pont amikor kedvem lenne... Látom őt! Ott ki! Riadó! Ott van egy a szemetek közül! Vigyázzatok vele!
Ezért megfizet.
Mi van, csak nem fáj? Hol az az őr?